Enjoy the beauty.
But first, we begin with the dangerous weather in the west. Heavy rain triggering flash floods and massive mudslides. Ginger is right over there tracking the very latest. Good morning, Ginger.
Yeah, so, Joe, that heavy rain came from remnants of a tropical storm called Mario that was in the Pacific. Once that rain moved in, it triggered those mudslides and some major damage. This morning, about 80 miles east of Los Angeles, people are digging out.
First wave of mud, and it already had trees and mailboxes, a bunch of debris.
Some told to shelter in place as rescue teams were activated to help those who were trapped. Homes crushed by the force of the mud. Cars buried in New Mexico. The Ruidoso River once again swelling into the village of Ruidoso, the same spot that has seen damaging and deadly. And this morning, Ruidoso in a flood watch again. We also have the flood watch focus from Palmdale through Mammoth Lake, so right there into the Sierra Nevada. You could see up to a 1.5 inch per hour rainfall rates on burn scars that could cause mudslides, debris flows. And so we have that flood threat not just from central California there through parts of Nevada down into Arizona and New Mexico. You mix it with a little monsoon flow, and we'll be looking for the elevated risk of flash flooding. George.
Okay, Ginger, we're going to hit the lake.
Well, summer's holding on strong from the Pacific Northwest, some up to 10 degrees warmer like Boise, Idaho. And today you're looking at Chicago 87, Cincinnati 88, Memphis 92. Monday there are going to be a lot of folks as we officially start fall that feel warmer than it, especially east of the Rockies. But you see a little bit coming in there of the below average. And we just got this in. This is the outlook from October through December. It looks like we'll keep the above average temperatures, or at least that trend, especially in the Southwest. Now coming up, why pop sensation Sade's minimalist and sleek look is now inspiring a whole new generation. Also ahead, we are getting you ready for this weekend's football games. Lori B is here with the right stuff so you can show off your team spirit. And Ethan Hawke and Lily James are here live. We have so much to get to. We hope you'll stay with us. Your local news and weather is next.
Good morning, Ginger.
And the trigger, George, for those mudslides was actually remnants from a tropical storm called Mario that was in the Pacific. It's long gone, but it pushed water that pushed mud, and this is what it looked like in Oak Glen, California. This is more than 80 miles east of Los Angeles. It's closer to San Bernardino. In Forest Falls, you have homes caked, heavily damaged, if not destroyed. And we also saw this type of flash flooding from a little bit of that and monsoon flow in Ruidoso, New Mexico. That's the same town you've heard me say multiple times this year. Flash flooding because of a burn scar again there. So today, burn scars will play a role, and we have flood watches from Palmdale up to Mammoth Lakes, but also over in Ruidoso. And you could see mudslides, debris flows once again. We have that elevated risk of flash flooding, especially there with a 1.5 inch per hour rainfall rates. This could be a problem all the way, Rebecca, through parts of Arizona and New Mexico as well.
So you got to listen to those warnings. All right, Ginger, thank you. We're going to turn now to new development.
George, I don't know if this is definitely a Friday over here. I don't know if you can see everybody. Keisha's all hula hooping. It's probably because it's so nice weather-wise. Philadelphia, beautiful start in the upper 60s. They're headed into the upper 80s, which is nearly 10 degrees above average. So yes, we're going to keep this above normal temperatures. This weekend, though, New York, you see we get a little cold front, so low 70s, closer to average. Raleigh there, Memphis in the 90s. We're going to keep the warmth, and next week, most people, except right there in Oklahoma, Arkansas, are going to see above average temps. Let's get a check now a little closer to home.
It is feeling especially Friday-ish today in New York City as well, because temperature
Blue on Disney Plus. You can see it there. Now let's go to Ginger.
Thanks, Rebecca. Now to another exclusive look at the new documentary taking us behind the scenes of Sarah McLachlan's history, making Lilith Fair. Yep. Sheryl Crow is one of several artists who opens up in the movie about her experience on the tour, the camaraderie backstage with her fellow performers, and Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery, the untold story, is presented by ABC News Studios, and our very own Diane Sawyer served as an executive producer. It premieres Sunday on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. Let's get a check a little closer to home.
A warm and sunny Friday, very summer-like out there as our highs make their way to the mid-80s.
Texas overnight. Ginger, of course, is tracking all the new threats. Good morning, Ginger.
Yeah, the damage pictures here, Deborah, from about 40 miles north of Fort Worth, Texas. That's a Walmart distribution center. The roof was kind of torn apart. Gusts nearby up to 68 miles per hour. Now, there were 55 severe storm reports that also included some big hail, up to 1 inch close to that damage that we saw. But you also had some of these storm reports all the way up to Minnesota. This is near the Twin Cities, where they were seeing that hail on the deck. Remember, hail comes from severe thunderstorms, meaning heat kind of fuels those. Today, we're going to see that later tonight, especially in this area, including Wichita and Oklahoma City, Omaha, by tonight. And then tomorrow, we're going to open up the skies again. Little Rock gets into it. North Texas, so remember, right on the edge of Dallas, up to Jonesboro as well. Rebecca?
Wow, that hail is something else, Ginger. Thank you. We're going to turn now to...
Welcome back to GMA. We've got a nice shot from Big Sky, Montana. They had their first little snow last week, which is totally normal for this time of year. A little bit of rain in the foreground, and they're about to warm up to almost 10 degrees above average by the midweeks. We will be seeing numbers like that. Today, though, the warmth is down in Midland or Austin, Dallas, all there in the mid-90s, even a little bit around the Great Lakes and throughout the southeast, slightly above average. But look what happens in the northern Rockies, from Idaho, Portland, Oregon, all the way over to Billings, Montana. Going to stay real warm Wednesday. And then Friday, that stands into the northern plains. You see Minneapolis there, nearly 80 degrees. And yes, fall officially starts later this afternoon, so it's not looking necessarily like it. Next week, by the way, that warmth sticks around, like warmer than normal from the Rockies up through the northern plains. Coming up, the latest on the cyber attack causing chaos at airports over the weekend. Also, the rush for sorority coaches, why some families are spending thousands of dollars to help their daughters get in. And Chef Christian Petroni is here with recipes from his new cookbook, Farm to Table. Here, Texas actually had thunderstorms again this morning. We've seen issues at the airports. This is about 40 miles north of Fort Worth, Texas, because they had that gust up to nearly 68 miles per hour, ripping the Walmart distribution center's roof right there. Then the hail, up to 1 inch in diameter in Sanger. But it wasn't just there. There were more than 55 severe storm reports that extended all the way up to close to the Twin Cities. So you also saw hail there. Hail comes from those convective thunderstorms that have to rise with a lot of heat, right? And then get instigated. That's going to happen this afternoon and throughout the overnight in parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. That's where we have a level 2 out of 5. You saw we stopped it there like between 10 and 2 a.m. That's when the worst of those storms were coming through along the state line. But you could see them even earlier. Omaha, keep that in mind. And then Gabrielle. It's a hurricane just about 200 miles or so southeast of Bermuda. It will keep intensifying because it's really warm water out there, but it's also going to keep away from land, which we love. We also, though, do have high surf and rip currents, and Rebecca just got the National Hurricane Center update. 70% chance for that next one to develop into our next tropical depression and get a name potentially later this week.
Wow, and I'm sure you will continue to stay on that, Ginger. Thank you. And it is usually weather that leads to the chaos, but in airport...
It is.
Yeah, Steph, thank you. Yeah. Ginger, over to you.
Thank you so much. All right, so equinox happens this afternoon at 2:19 Eastern Time. New York City woke up with the coolest temp that we've had since last spring. It was 41 degrees at Central Park. But we're about to warm up to an average mid-70s today. We'll actually go a little bit warmer as we head into tomorrow and then even Wednesday. And there will be some rain coming through this week. Boston's going to be look at 82 above average. Next couple of months, because why not look at the fall ahead? October through December looking likely warmer than normal, especially in the southwest, but pretty much most of the nation seeing above. Let's get a check now a little closer to home.
And Insured is waiting for you is available now. Let's go to Ginger.
Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, so let's look at Dallas this morning. Getting a little sun in there after the storms. They even had a ground stop earlier this morning. Today, headed up into the mid-90s, so 8 degrees above normal. And we will see some cooling, but it's going to take a front that's going to cause more storms. And so you'll get those. Look at even tomorrow up to 97. Some of the other numbers are saying much more above average than fall would be. And speaking of, the likely more than normal sticks as we head through next week. That's the big picture. Let's get a check now a little closer to home.
And went for a nice day with temperatures.
Who run the world?
Girls.
GMA. See you tomorrow.
Nice to see you.
Ex-NFL star